a number of people that I know that have learners and children with special education needs and disabilities, and name it. I come from that background where I chose what I wanted to study at TUSoA for my undergrad and also my postgrad, so it's a pathway.
Deep in the heart of Africa are stories left untold, successes drowned by the world's cold, winners not seen by the naked eye, that have flown the flag of brilliance way up high. We're here to share these stories, changing one life at a time. Journey with us as we tell the untold stories of Africa.
So when you are living in a world that encompasses so many things, it encompasses so many differences, you constantly have to remind yourself about those individuals that work tirelessly to make it all feel like one big happy family. And today's episode is very personal for me. It's very exciting, but also something very close and dear to my heart, because this is something I have had a passion for so many years. We're at Woodcreek Preparatory School, and here we'll get to speak to Mofya, who is running this institution, and it is a special needs institution specially set up to help and nurture and bring together all that encompasses your child. And I think I am very honored to be here, to be able to share this story with you. So I'm excited for yet again another incredible episode. Welcome to episode 14. It's going to be so good and so informative. Stay with us. I am so excited for today's episode, purely because this is something that is very dear to my heart. This is something that I've been excited about. We've been talking about it all week, and finally I'm sitting here and man, oh man, you are just about to be blown away. There's a lot of issues within our communities, some of which we talk about, some of which still need a little bit more awareness. So this is us as the Untold Stories of Africa, ushering you into episode 14 of an incredible young man's story. And he's going to be talking to us about this beautiful institution that we are sitting in. Thank you so much for having us, Mofya Lungo. And we are honored that you opened your doors to us and allowed us to be here as the Untold Stories of Africa. So obviously, I have said I'm excited, the field, the what. Usher us into what that is, because first of all, I know that you were in the corporate world before you moved into what you're doing now. You were actually into investment banking?
Yes, investment.
Yes, investments.
And advisory as well.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about how you went from that to where we are now.
I think it's also passion at the end of the day.
Yeah.
After my short stint with quite a number of firms in Lusaka, some of them pretty huge, and they gave me quite an experience, but it's a point where I reached that realization in life that I needed to go back to stuff that I went to school for, stuff that I enjoyed doing, in as much as the investment side of it was bringing in so much money. But at the end of the day, I realized I needed to be happy as a person first, and just do something that I had purpose in, and I wanted to just see grow and build my career as well, and my person.
Awesome. Yeah. Those are very good words that you've put out: purpose and passion and growth. Those are all things that we need. And so after you moved out of the corporate sector, you went into the educational sector, but particularly special education. Why?
Apart from going to school for it, it's something that is really close to me, and it has a personal effect on me, because I've got a number of people that I know that have learners and children with special education needs and disabilities, and name it. I come from that background where I chose what I wanted to study at TUSoA for my undergrad and also my postgrad. So it's a path where I wanted to just walk in and see how far I'll go with it. Still young, but obviously by the time the sun will be setting, I should have had an impact on many people's lives as well.
Yes, and we are here in this beautiful institution. What is the name of your school?
It's called Woodcreek.
Woodcreek. Woodcreek Preparatory School.
Yes.
Right. And your focus in this space is basically to enhance the experience overall of special needs children.
Yes.
And I understand that you have had a very short experience of it, because shortly after you opened, we got hit by COVID-19. And I think COVID has really, really changed the perspective for all of us. Every single person has been affected one way or the other in terms of, what it looks like. But first of all, congratulations.
Right, thank you.
To actually get this far and to step out into the water and say, hey, if I drown, I drown, but let's do it. I think that's incredible. Why exactly did you feel to open an institution of your own was the route you wanted to take?
I think that emanates from the, like I mentioned earlier, I needed to do so much, and I've invested so much into myself in terms of doing short courses, professional development in line with special education needs, and also it's a dream that was just birthed a long time ago. So it had reached a point where I think I understand it was time for me to step out. I had a very good experience working as a learning support teacher, and I had also very good mentors.
Yes.
Although the stay was short and I miss it, but it was birthed from that point where I had this experience with kids, and it brought so many emotions. And I think with the support I got at the previous school I was at, and also working with parents and other people that could talk to me and tell me about what I really needed to do. And I think just the support from everyone else, that's the thing that birthed this. And at that point I looked around and thought that maybe I needed to grow as a person, and also I needed to just experience it and see to it that I had also autonomy. If I wanted to work outside the box, I really needed to just say, this is the path that I need to do, and this is what I expect. I don't need to go through someone to say, this is my dream and this is how I look at things and how I look at special education in Zambia. So this is purely everything that I thought of and I wanted to do.
Fantastic. Somebody might be watching and listening and thinking, okay, special needs ni vichadmanje. So, giving a brief summary, what are some of the various terms and maybe even the various conditions that encompass the term special needs?
Okay, I think it's diverse, and to discuss special education needs or special needs and disability would be, I think, most of the common definitions that would get along with maybe a person that is not able to function at the level of the cognitive and also the physical. And just name it from that point. And with disability, I don't even need to, it might even range from physical to health impairments. So looking at it for us, I think that term might just limit us, but there are so many conditions that are coming up now that we might spend the entire day to just mention. But the common ones that we have are physical impairments, and most of them are learning disabilities, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, just name them. And autism now, and the ADHD, and
ASD as well.
Yes, the spectrum itself, and just name it, the whole bunch of conditions and impairments that might come in between the child and learning, and also in between the child and functioning as well.
We don't have very many institutions like this. We have got certain schools that have got a small, a section, a small, maybe you could say faculty, if you may, that encompass, the learning of special needs children. But to actually have an institution like this, I think is something that we have not acclimed ourselves to just yet. We haven't yet gotten to a point where this is normal. To have setups like this is common, is ordinary. And I think it's great, because we need more of these, because the numbers that we have of special needs kids in Zambia is immense. We have kids on the spectrum that parents don't even know are on the spectrum, and it's amazing. But here with your particular institution, what are some of the cases that you have directly had the opportunity to work with?
I think in my experience I've worked with a number of learners and children also, because my bias is mainly towards children. So the cases that are most pronounced are autism spectrum disorders and physical impairments, cerebral palsy, and And the ADHD, these are pronounced, and these are cases that literally every day you get to meet children with their unique personalities, and also with their conditions that come in, and some of them have had to be like this other instance where we had a child that has can't function, or when I say functioning, I'm trying to just
motor skills.
Yeah, exactly. So you discover that this is a part where you get to meet so many conditions that you're reading about, and now you're thinking and seeing them firsthand.
Yes.
You just understand that there's just so much out there. But each child, most of the cases that we pronounce are unique. But the common ones are autism and ADHD so far. That's what I'm trying to just put across. These are the ones that even with the learners that we have here, I think those will be about 90%.
Oh wow. What are the services that your institution offers? What exactly can a parent that is watching this and possibly may need your services, what can they expect here?
I know what we're trying to do is unorthodox, and I know, like you mentioned, there are many schools and many places that are doing this, and as much as so much is being done on the policy side of it, so many schools are coming up, so many established schools are having a section, like I said, which is learning support, and I'm happy to say there's so much that's being done, but if you have to go back to the book and say this is what's going on or this is what's obtaining, I would say we really have so many mountains to climb. If we have to say we've reached a point where we can say special education in Zambia is working, then we need to come up and work as fast as we can, coming up with schools and trying to see that we can have even things like I have here where it's in-house, where a child can access speech and language therapy, they can access occupational physical therapy. Way back it would be a child moves from point A for learning, point B for physio, point C for speech. But what we thought of was saying we need something in-house. It's something that hasn't been done, something that requires us to just say we need to, I think, just go above board and accept that there is this challenge that we have. But we really need to have our own working solutions. There isn't a point in me having a child going for physio when they're supposed to be learning. So I'd rather have it in-house.
It's in the same space.
And it's working so far. It's quite amazing, and we thank God that things have turned out this way. We envisioned it, and now it's happening, and we're leading with it.
It's coming to fruition. It's really, really good. As we go through life, we get exposed to different types of situations and scenarios, right? That open your mind to, oh, I didn't know about this. Oh, I didn't know about this. And I think one of the stigmas that has surrounded special needs kids is lack of knowledge. You know what I mean? There's very little understanding as to what special needs actually is and what it may look like and what it may manifest like or as in different children. And you as a professional, how exactly do you carry out, some of your assessments? What goes into you understanding how to differentiate this case from this case? I mean, there's the obvious ones, but of course I know them because, like I said, we are in the same field. So I will know that dyscalculia is being, unable to work numbers. I'll understand dysgraphia is just being unable to write and coordinate your hand in a way that you're able to give a good handwriting that everyone can read. But how are you able to differentiate some of these cases, and how exactly can parents or guardians to these children, how could we help them look out and be alert as to some of the conditions that we might be exposed to on the daily?
We thought with experience, and most of all, the number of clients that I've worked with, and also like speaking from experience here, the time we've been, most of the clients that come with that awareness that they understand that their child has that's going on. And there are some cases where it's brought to you, and you have to just delve deeper into the books and just understand that this is what's going on. And sometimes it's about coordination, working with other people also, and working with other teams of people that work with learners along the developmental pathway. So that has really helped me out a lot, and I think I'm thankful that I took the step to go and have a medical background of the disability, and maybe with my training in clinical neuropsychology, that gave me an understanding, not so much, but it gave me an understanding on how diseases come up, on how the nervous system is involved in what condition, coupled with the training I got in special education, has really just scaled me to a position where I look at both things from a medical and the educational side of it. So that has really helped me a lot, and also just listening a lot to what the parents would tell you, listening a lot to what reading what the reports are saying, and also just like I mentioned, developmental pathways for children in most cases are supposed to just be clear cut. But the moment we just deviate, then there's something that we really need to look at.
Because once there's the deviation, then there's a disparity in milestones achieved. You know what I mean? Behavioral changes and all those things come into play, and then you begin to realize, wait a minute, there's a problem here. And I think we need to get to a point where that, for me, that has always been the biggest problem, is we need to get to a point where that, where you say there's a problem, comes sooner. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, I was exposed some years ago to a scenario that later proved to me that if this child had gotten the help that he needed, even just
the prospects would have been
2 years, the prospects would have been better, because time is of the essence with special needs children, and the more time you waste, the less milestones will be achieved within a certain time frame, and it's a lot, but you're here and you're doing it, and man, it's amazing to see this. And so right now, when you're at full capacity, how many kids can you house?
70.
70.
We're in our first phase, so that's the plan that we had with me and Louis. That's my partner. That was to just get started. If we wanted to have everything that we've dreamt of, wouldn't
you never really start. In
our first phase, we're happy. I can show you around. We've got everything up and running. It's a full-fledged school, and the physio center also. We can do literally all sorts of assessments, like you mentioned, education assessments, interventions, and learning support, neuropsychological assessments, which is more of the clinical side of it, but there's no harm in me working it here. So these are things that we are trying to do right now. Then our second phase is maybe moving on to having a full scale assessment center, something top of the range that we can have. I know there are just about 1 or 2 that are there that would go as something huge, but that's where we are going, and hopefully in the next 2-3 months we should have our own gymnasium done outside, our own gym that could accommodate children that have physical disabilities. So that's a plan that we have, but so far at full capacity we should go 70.
Awesome. And I understand, I mentioned this earlier, saying COVID kind of messed up everything, but I think this time also kind of helps you put things in perspective. It helps to sit down, go back to the drawing board, see what you can do in this time while you're waiting for schools to resume and get back to normal. But aside from that, is there a way that parents can still access you for your services?
We're still open.
Minus schools being closed. Can they make one-on-one what's the word, bookings? Appointments,
bookings, and
sessions with you. Because of course, COVID cannot stop the world from evolving. We are still waking up, and the days are still going, and we kind of still need to keep going. So parents are still able to.
And we're still planning. We do provide work, in as much as I would be quick to mention that learning with children who have special education needs is a bit hands-on. And as much as we'd want to be at 100% remotely, it hasn't been working. I can try and TUSoA, I can try and do Zoom, but these are things that you'd understand that in 30 minutes into that, then you have done. Things are not moving the way they're supposed to. So you understand that in as much as we're still open, the effects of COVID-19 have really just taken a step back. But the fear is with the children regressing.
Yes.
You discover that there are children that would require constant updates, constant work, and everything.
I know.
This is the part that I feel the government should do more.
Yes.
Because we do not know when schools will open at full capacity.
At this point,
I'm talking from experience where we need to understand that not everything works with every child.
Yeah.
So if we could have policy implementers think of something so far, and also maybe just work with people that run such schools and offer such services, and how best we could work it out and see that this is what's going on. Trust me, this is something that I'll be serious to call on the government to say, there is this challenge here, but it's non-existent. If it's being talked about, then there isn't as much as awareness as we're supposed to get with a normal system of things. And this is a challenge actually to not just me as someone who's running a school like this, but to everyone else, and also the parents, and how best we can work and see that learners get the best out of it, and like staying 6 months into the year without learning.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, we're from March. We're how many months in? 4?
Yeah, 4.
About 4 months in, and you know, trust me, I have had a really intense time of keeping up with all the kids and making sure that everybody is okay. And because when we open, you do not want any child to be left behind, and it's important that you run with the mantle, even though things are not the way they're supposed to be. You find a way to have the two meet, and so I totally understand, and I really do get you.
It's stressing and heartbreaking to just realize that children have to sit in and not do anything, and if you've worked with them at a personal level, you even know how bad it might get on them, not only as a teacher, but even also on people that have to be laid off, and the decisions that you have to make to stay afloat. I think that has really come at a bad time, but either way we have to just storm it, and
2020 has really done a number on us.
Exactly.
So where are you? And if somebody wants to get in touch with you, somebody would like to call you, do you have social media? Do you have an email? Where are you and how? So first of all, give us your address. Give us your email also, phone number, all of it. Give it to us.
Okay, it's we are situated along Bulue Road, 4777. That's just after the Woodlands Stadium, the new mall, the Wanika, and we are opposite Woodlands B.
Yes. Yeah, it's very visible actually. As we were coming in, it's nice and beautiful, and it's Woodcreek Preparatory School in purple. Yeah, yes, very nice. Yeah. I
think it's white and purple. Only thing that's quite catching along here.
Okay, and social media?
On social media, we've got a page on Facebook. It goes by the name Woodcreek Preparatory School. Okay. And the email address is info@woodcreekprep.school.zm. Good. And the number is 0973-577-025. And most of the information is always on our flyers, so the other stuff that's there is listed.
I had a pretty flyer. I think someone in the crew took it, but I had a good flyer, and I'm so honored to be to be here sitting and talking to you about this, because like I said, this is information that we really need to get out. Exactly. So if you're watching and you know somebody that has got special needs, or perhaps maybe you would like to have a child assessed, or it's very important that you do it. As parents, as guardians, when something is wrong. Your instinct is never ever wrong. I'm always telling this to parents, I never get tired of saying it. When you as a parent or a guardian feel that something is not where it's supposed to be, trust your instinct. So take some time out, come and visit Woodcreek Preparatory School. Come and sit down with Mofya and have him explain stuff to you. It might put things in perspective for you, but most importantly, you will really appreciate that there's institutions like this that are working tirelessly to make life so much better for each and every single one of us. Thank you so much, Mofya, for having us.
Thanks,
we really appreciate you doing this, and I know you probably you have some sleepless nights, and there's days when you get sick and you lose weight, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Don't ever doubt the impact that you're having and you're going to have on the nation, on the country. Because I think this is definitely it's groundbreaking, and I will be stalking you, and I will come back in a couple of months to see how you're doing, and to see how the gymnasium's coming up. I look forward to all of it, because I definitely see how this can make a difference for us. So thank you so much.
Thanks, I
We
really
appreciate the untold stories, and thank you also for showing us around and just thank you. We'll definitely be looking out for more growth from Woodcreek, and we're excited for when schools open and we can go back to normal programming. Oh my goodness, it's so dismal right now with all of it, but thank you so much.
Thanks, I really appreciate being here.
That was an amazing chat, and I need you to remember that as the Untold Stories of Africa, these are the stories that we want to bring to you. These are the sort of things that we want you to know about, because people like Mofya are out here stepping outside of the box and literally just going for it. So if you need the services, or perhaps you know someone who might, please do recommend Woodcreek Preparatory School to them. I am so happy that you got to watch this episode and got to know more about special needs and how you could look out for that. It is happening, it is all around us. We just need to pick it up really early. So catch me for episode 15. I am Zilong Bangalala. It was a pleasure.